Aesthetics, boys. Aesthetics. And not just boys. Girls too, ladies. Come on. You gotta show up classy. You gotta show up good. Poise, elegance, beauty, sex appeal. It all comes from your aesthetic. Now, when I say aesthetic, I don't just mean your clothes or your the way the colors, the shades of clothes that you wear, just whether you're wearing sunglasses or not, whether you're using an umbrella in the sun. No, I'm talking about the overall impression that your clothes put together with your bone structure and the way you speak, the way you carry yourself, the way you walk, the tone of your voice, your talk, do you make eye contact, the elegance of your touch, the eloquence with which you string together sentences. How do you manage awkward situations? How do you flirt? How do you smile at somebody? Are you too eager? Are you too nervous? Are you able to stay calm in the face of anxiety-provoking circumstances? All these things. Do you have that air of mystery? Are you sultry? Do you know how to look at somebody the right way to convey that you're serious? To show a woman just how much you desire her, that you know how to direct your appetite in a way that makes her feel wanting you. Aesthetic puts it all together. It's the complete package. It's the overall comprehensive image with which you come across to the world. There's many elements to this. There's your fashion sense, obviously. Fashion sense in and of itself has multiple layers. It's about, the choice of style, the cut of the clothes you wear. Does it highlight your body? And then that's tied down to your body itself. What does your body looks like? What does your body look like? What does it convey? Are you skinny, scrawny, tall? Are you short, broad? Do you take up a lot of space? When you sit down, do you look like you're trying too hard to come across as masculine by taking up a lot of room, man spreading, or are you able to take up room in a way that's comfortable, where it comes across as calm and well poised, but not selfish and insecure through trying to consume too much space? Aesthetics is the art of being, I would say, in the temporal, physical world. Everything we do, especially our behaviors, because at the end of the day, people can't perceive your soul. What they can perceive is the representations of your soul. When you're put together, when you're able to capture exactly what it is that you're trying to convey about who you are inside, what sort of motivations you might have, what are your missions, what are your goals, who are you striving to be, how you use your time, what mood are you in. It's amazing. There's actually a lot of depth to aesthetic. You can tell if a person's clean, serious, funny, immature, arguably even intelligent, self-aware, or too anxious and maybe just neurotic. It's a very important art form that I think people have lost in favor of comfort. Especially in the West, they've lost the sense of sensitivity to how you come across to others' eyes. And it's important to remain sensitive to that, because it's, society and culture is the collective sum of the individuals that are defined and shaped by that culture. So if the people that are a part of a society or a certain subgroup, and they generally speaking dress sloppily without thought or concern for their reputation and how they might come across to people, that to me it really signifies a culture that is self-indulgent, lazy, thoughtless, and really craves comfort over anything that requires work and consideration, anything that requires an effort towards something beyond itself. So that's the point we're at here in the West. But there's pros and cons to this. If you're an individual well enough to craft your own style, to be able to understand that you control how you are perceived based on how you present yourself. Again, that comes down to all the way down to the fit of your clothes, to the colors you choose to wear that day, and your body language, demeanor, so on. So the more you're aware of that, but also confident about the aesthetic that you're wearing, the more effective you'll be in the world. And this is why it's so important. And now more than ever, I think if you're able to string together even something remotely well constructed, it really it stands out, for better or for worse. Now, I personally find that I'm better received out in the East. I haven't been to Europe since I was like a child, but I imagine I would be better received in Europe as well. But in the West, Canada, probably some of America, although I think I'm more decently received there than Canada especially, I think that you can come across as pretentious or trying too hard or too cocky maybe, but the thing is, everybody is attracted to something that's well put together. We're human beings. We can recognize the intrinsic value of beauty, symmetry, form, shape, so on. So I really think that people who are just out of touch with those things, and when they see it and are forced to acknowledge it, they tend to react defensively, because on some level they know that they should also be working towards this, that they perhaps don't reflect it best in themselves, but we can all sort of subconsciously tell that it's important to us. Anyway, if you can work on that, if you can figure that out, that pushes you leaps and bounds above many other guys. Especially guys are terrible with this stuff. And also depends on which part of the world you are, in which culture you're trying to attract and abide by, belong to. So think about it. It's don't dress like a middle schooler, not even high school, middle schooler, man. Like, after a point, make an effort. Seriously, there's no excuse to wear some lazy hoodie and your stomach's fucking hanging out your, I don't know, like a foot away from your damn body. You just the hair is just slathered all over your face. You just look like you don't go to the gym. You've never worked out. You've lost all sense of endurance and vigor that comes from being muscular and well sculpted. Think about it. Pay attention to your speech patterns, how you communicate, and make a conscious effort to recognize when you fall short and strive to improve. Improve your lexicon. Maybe read a couple things, just small habits, 10-15 minutes a day, whatever you can. Work on sharpening your mind, work on being precise in your speech when you communicate with people. Pay attention, make eye contact, try and understand the nuances, and being aggressive but confident, and smooth and charming, but perhaps read the room. Don't come across as creepy when you're talking to a beautiful woman. And you're gonna fail, you're gonna strike out, you're gonna have faux pas, whatever. That's how you learn. Just keep trying till, it's never perfect. We're all always growing. The better you get at it. Being a human being, especially if you're somewhat smarter than even, I'd say, just absolute room temperature. You're always walking this fine line between being too self-aware and being just the right amount of aware where it actually gives you an edge. So learning to sort of weave majestically in between these parameters is so crucial. And unfortunately, the only way to do that is through trial and error and perseverance, and to be courageous and not give up on it. But understand that this is an important goal to pursue, because your aesthetic self is part of your highest self. Selling yourself short there is it's just a sad sorry excuse for laziness. And it's a defining feature of just being sexy. Sex appeal, looking good. Everybody likes things that look good. You don't buy. Well, unfortunately, we've come to live in a culture that fetishizes ugliness, and in all its facets. So ironically, being beautiful and striving towards beauty is not revolutionary. I can't think of the word right now, but it's countercultural, ironically. Don't just have some random hodgepodge of clothing, just some weird potpourri. I mean, of course, you can borrow elements across the entire color of history, fashion, whatever, but understanding the relationship between all the things you wear, and creatively but thoughtfully putting it together. And if that's not your thing, maybe invest in a style coach, a stylist, though it's worth it. It's very worth it, because the first thing people will always see and always judge you by, no matter how much bullshit you've heard growing up about, oh, don't judge a book by its cover, blah, blah, blah. And yeah, in some cases it's definitely applicable, but hey man, I mean, even if you look at old pictures of Elon Musk and you look at the new Musk, even Elon had to go out there and sexify himself once he hit that level, and hell yeah, he's all better for it. Somehow the guy looks younger and better than he did when he was in his 20s, which is it's crazy. So clearly it's something important to us. Go for it. Strive for it with attention, care, and the best in you.